Roll call, please.
Mayor McNally?
Yes.
Councilor Nermella?
Yes.
Councilor Seymour?
Yes.
Councilor Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem DeMott?
Yes.
And Councilor Emmons?
Yes.
The motion passes on a 5-1 vote.
It is
I
9:00.
apologize, it passed on a 6-0 vote.
Thank you. It is 9:06. We will now convene as the WIDA Board, incorporating the roll call from our last meeting. And is there a motion to approve the minutes of August 14th, 2023? Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the minutes of the August 14th, 2023 meeting as presented.
Councilor Emmons?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of August 14th. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Baker?
Sorry.
Roll call, please. Or all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to a public hearing for Resolution 228 regarding the 2003 revised Westminster Economic Development Authority budget and Resolution number 229 regarding the 2024 proposed WIDA budget. We will hold a public hearing. So. do
We have
anybody?
one person signed up to
Okay.
speak. Karen Calavity.
Okay,
Again, I passed.
okay.
Okay, that was the only person we had signed up.
Okay. So we had no one testify. That brings us to Resolution 228. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 228, adopting the 2023 revised budget for the Westminster Economic Development Authority as presented, including appropriation of funds as set forth.
Councilor Emmons.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to adopt Resolution 228. Is there any further discussion? Mayor Pro Tem?
Should that be 2024?
I'm sorry, on Resolution 228, it's the revised budget.
Okay.
Councilor Baker?
Yeah, can we talk about these? Is this the time to talk about them?
Yep, it's a motion.
I'd like to better understand, as an example, on the North Huron proposed budget. Okay, it shows significant revenues, but then it shows pretty small debt service. So there's a huge, I hesitate to say this, but there's a huge profit there. So where's it going? And like in '22, we transferred it out. Transferred it out to where?
City Manager?
Yeah, I'd pass this one to CFO Dorr here, Deputy City Manager Dorr. I would say that, the city is aware of the large fund balance that's in the North Huron URA, and currently developing a plan to expend those funds to improve that area. Lots of ideas out there, but nothing confirmed or definitive at this point. But I'll pass that to Deputy City Manager Dorr. He may want to share some of the details about how the fund operates.
Thank you, Mr. Executive Director Freitag. I appreciate that. And just getting my Westminster Economic Development Authority hat on, and Madam Chairperson, thank you. The fund is accumulating funds in reserve for debt service related to a $26 million outstanding obligation in the North Huron urban renewal area. And that's noted in the supplemental report that was provided to the WIDA board earlier tonight, and describes that accumulation as was anticipated in the borrowing and in the financing. As the executive director described, our staff team is preparing a plan in the coming next 1 to 2 quarters that will be presented to the WIDA board for opportunities for infrastructure investments in the North Huron URA, and I think you could anticipate that in a coming 2024 revised budget and 2025 budget for the Urban Renewal Authority. So yes, there are surplus funds. I wouldn't characterize those as profit, but I think everybody knows what we're talking about, that revenues exceed expenditures for the purpose of paying off future obligations and including monies for capital infrastructure as was described. Thank you.
Okay, so where did the transfer out go?
Yeah,
2022.
I'll call on Business Operations Administrator Vicki Adams if she might know the transfer. I believe our city has advanced funds to the Urban Renewal Authority for certain capital infrastructure at some time in the past and is transferring funds back, but I'll defer to Ms. Adams, who's conferring with her notes, and will come forward here just in a moment. Ms. Adams, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello. Yes, the transfers out were for the North Huron Interceptor project that we did up in North Huron. And you're asking for 2022, correct?
Right. What was the North Huron Interceptor project?
I would have to have someone else explain that project.
Well, unless we're buying F4 Phantoms or something. I know what those interceptors are.
Good evening, afternoon. Sarah Borders, Interim Director of Public Works and Utilities. The North Huron Interceptor was a project that was completed. It's near completion now, and it was done in order to build some new infrastructure and to upsize some additional infrastructure, existing infrastructure, in order to allow for some developments to occur in the North Huron area.
So it was a sewer interceptor, like we had build to let that huge apartment building be built there at 146th and Huron?
Yes, yeah. So if you've been driving on 136th around Lowell, you probably have seen quite a bit of construction happening up over there over the last year or two. It was that interceptor.
136th and Lowell?
Or up by the Lowe's. It's getting late, I apologize. So 136th at the Lowe's, yes, sir.
Okay. Gotcha. So then, thank you. So then getting back to the amount of money in the proposed 2024 budget, aren't we talking about surplus revenues of $8 million?
I believe the 2024 surplus is $6,128,000.
Okay.
We are.
And that's a significant amount of money. Why wouldn't we just really retire the debt we owe on the project?
I think the debt, as it was refunded, has some call features to it, and that's one of the reasons why there's been an accumulation of funds pledged toward the retirement of future debt. But as you know, oftentimes debt would come with some call protection features, and so we have a sinking fund working toward paying off that debt at an appropriate time in the future.
How much is the debt? Isn't it about 26 million left to go on that?
I think I'm reading from the worksheet here, 26,005,000.
So this could go, a quarter of the way, if we're allowed to do that by the refunded debt.
Right.
Of course.
Yes, and I'm just reading here that pursuant to the intergovernmental agreement, that project costs related to the transfers that are accumulating onwards of 6.5 million. So yes, that's where those surplus funds are accumulating, both for capital projects and for debt service sinking funds.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Counselor Baker,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Demott,
Yes.
Counselor Emmons,
Yes.
Mayor McNally,
Yes.
Counselor Nermella,
Yes.
and Counselor Seymour.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 5-1 vote.
That brings us to Resolution 229. Counselor Emmons?
I move to adopt the resolution number 229, adopting the 2024 proposed budget for the Westminster Economic Development Authority as presented, including the appropriation of funds as set forth.
Vice Chair Demott?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution number 229. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Demott,
Yes.
Board Member Emmons,
Yes.
Chair McNally,
Yes.
Board Member Nermella,
Yes.
Board Member Seymour,
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
No.
The motion passes on a 5-1 vote.
It is now 9:16, and we will convene as the General Improvement District Board, incorporating the roll call from the previous meeting. And do I have a motion for minutes A through I? Counselor Seymour?
I move to approve the minutes of the October 10th, 2022 meetings of the 136th Avenue, 144th Avenue, Amherst, Downtown, Orchard Park Place North, Mandalay Town Center, Sheridan Crossing, Westminster Station, and Park 1200 General Improvement Districts as presented.
Director Emmons?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve minutes of previous meetings A through I. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to public hearing regarding Westminster GID.
I do have one person signed up. It's Karen Calavity.
Again, I just signed up. I don't want to speak.
That was the only person.
Okay, no one has signed up, so that brings us to Resolution 28. Director Seymour?
I move to adopt resolution number 28 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 16 mills for the city of Westminster, 136th Avenue General Improvement District, it formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates the funds as budgeted.
Director Emmons?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution 28. Is there any further discussion? Director Baker?
Yeah, this is where I wanted to get into some of the details because, as I understand it, GID funds are to be spent only in the GID. That's the whole point of it. It's a general improvement district. And as an example, where I understand what's happening is the Amherst, and even though this is not about Amherst, but in the Amherst district, that's a very straightforward thing. It's functioning as an HOA, and it takes in the property taxes under the GID, and then it spends them on mowing the lawn and watering the lawns and taking care of all that thing. So that's very understandable to me. But as an example, on this one that we're talking about now, we go back to these intergovernmental. I mean, if you look at the taxes this GID brings in, it's only like $30,000, but they're getting 286, and in the proposed budget, it's 343 so I would assume that the city's giving money to this GID?
Mr. Dorr? could
Yeah,
you
thank you,
respond?
Mr. Freitag. Yes, I believe that the intergovernmental revenue, I'm just going to glance at Vicky. I think we're talking about specific ownership tax from vehicles and county road and bridge. But if you would describe the character of those intergovernmental revenues to the GID, and generally what Mr. Baker was describing is that funds generated within this general improvement district would be used for on-site. I can confirm that. But Vicky, could you describe those?
Yeah, the intergovernmental revenue is actually revenue coming from the North Huron URA. The URA collects all the tax, and the agreement is that it will give anything back to the GID. So they're giving back their property tax increment. And that's what that intergovernmental revenue is.
Thank you.
So I guess I don't understand it. So when it says property taxes operating and property taxes debt, those are from the 1 mil and the 15 mils charged?
Right, but on the base level, right? Because the URA is going to take everything above the base. And so this property tax operating and property tax debt is the base, and then the intergovernmental revenue is from the URA, which is the increment
So in
above the
other
base.
words, well, the GID is not being, collected on the in-place assessed value of the Walmart and the Lowe's, but on the raw land of before those properties were built.
Let me try to take another stab at that if I could, Ms. Adams. Thank you, and thank you for correcting me on the Road and Bridge misassumption that I had there. But when the general improvement district is established in an area where an urban renewal area is present, there's this concept of base property values and then increment property values. And so if a GID is established once an urban renewal authority is present, it won't be able to realize or receive its general improvement district tax levy because there's a base and increment already in place. So an intergovernmental or cooperation agreement between the 136th Avenue, which is the current item before the board, and and the Urban Renewal Authority have an agreement that incremental taxes collected by the Urban Renewal Authority will be paid back into the GID so that its property owners can receive the taxes in for the purpose for which they formed.
Okay, so that explains where the intergovernmental money is coming from.
Right.
And then tell me about the uses, other financing sources, uses. Because those are transfers out.
Yes.
Where
and-
is that money going? Again,
Yeah.
a significant value.
If I'm reading that correctly, and I'm sorry these pages aren't numbered, but in essence, that's to return funds back to the city's general capital improvement fund, which advanced funds for some of the infrastructure that's in place there, Ms. Adams?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was for the 136th Avenue interchange, and the GID is paying that back to the city.
Okay, and so someplace we have a master list of how much is still owed?
Yes.
That would be a helpful thing to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Board Member Baker. Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
And Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to resolution number 22. Counselor Baker? Director Seymour?
I move to adopt resolution number 22 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection and 2024 at 20.0 mils for the city of Westminster, 144th Avenue General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Director Emmons?
Yes. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass resolution number 22. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chairperson McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
And Board Member Baker.
Yes,
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to resolution number 43. Vice Chair Demott?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 43 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 5 mills. For the City of Westminster Amherst General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates the funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass resolution 43. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
yes,
And Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to resolution number 7. Mayor Pro Tem, Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 7 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 35 mills for the City of Westminster Downtown General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution 7. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Chair McNally,
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela,
Yes.
Board Member Seymour,
Yes.
Board Member Baker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Demott,
Yes.
and Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Resolution number 27. Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 27 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 35 mills for the City of Westminster Mandalay Town Center General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates the funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass Resolution 27. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Board Member Nurmela,
Yes.
Board Member Seymour,
Yes.
Board Member Baker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Demott,
Yes.
Board Member Emmons,
Yes.
and Chair McNally.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Resolution number 16. Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 16 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 13 mills for the Westminster Orchard Park Place North General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve or adopt the Resolution number 16. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
Yes.
Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
And Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Resolution number 10. Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 10 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 10 mills for the City of Westminster Park 1200 General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution number 10. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Board Member Baker.
Yes.
Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
And Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Resolution 40. Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 40 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 12 mills for the City of Westminster Sheridan Crossing General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution number 40. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela. Yes. Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Resolution number 6. Vice Chair Demott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt resolution number 6 that sets the mill levy for the tax year 2023 for collection in 2024 at 35 mills for the City of Westminster, Westminster Station General Improvement District, formally adopts the 2024 budget for the district as presented and appropriates funds as budgeted.
Board Member Emmons.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution 6. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Board Member Emmons.
Yes.
Chair McNally.
Yes.
Board Member Nurmela.
Yes.
Board Member Seymour.
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
Yes.
And Vice Chair Demott.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
It is 9:29, and this meeting is adjourned. Have a great week.